Turn one, quite crazy, quite chaotic, quite everything happened to every part of the field. Lando Norris, aggressive block on Max Verstappen, and then just missed turn one. Lost the lead, lost second. Looked like he was going to lose more, but he calmed down. Settled for third in that moment. Because if he tried to go up the inside of Russell, I don't know what would have happened. Anyways, back in the field, Oscar Piastri just gets nailed by one of the Red Bull Junior cars. Back of the grid, they're wrecking. They're just annihilating each other. Then the rest of the race happens, and, well, the rest of the race happens. Like, that's kind of it. Nothing of note, really. There was not much of note after the first turn, really. There were some attempted strategies. There was a Kimi Antonelli podium that was for a false start that, they showed us like one replay and it didn't really look that much like a false start if you ask me. But the third ever Las Vegas Grand Prix, well, the true Las Vegas Grand Prix. I'm not talking about the Caesars Palace one back in the 80s. I'm talking about the real Las Vegas Grand Prix, the one where they run on the Strip, the one where they run on Harmon, the one where they run on Koval, the one where they run on Sands Avenue. That Las Vegas Grand Prix, and Max Verstappen becomes the first multi-time winner of this race. And also in that same note, Max Verstappen cuts into the championship lead, but the championship's kind of wrapped, if we're being honest. Lando Norris once again beats his closest competitor in terms of points, Oscar Piastri, but it's Piastri's the closest competition in terms of points, but Max Verstappen is the biggest threat. I can't believe I'm saying that. Piastri has been way off. Since Zandvoort, he has been way, way off. Lando Norris has turned it back on. He's driven fantastically outside of turn one tonight. He's driven very well, and Max Verstappen has been doing Max Verstappen things. So yeah, in terms of the championship, what's the number now? Let's see what the number is. Yeah, Piastri's now minus 30. Verstappen's minus 42. So unless there's a DNF for Norris, it's over. Or it's a long shot. It's not going to happen. But Lando Norris was saving fuel at the end of the race. If he doesn't have enough fuel in the car, that's a disqualification. That happened to someone a couple of years ago. Vettel or something. Hungary, if I'm remembering correctly. But yeah, that's probably not going to happen. So unless Lando Norris is a DNF or just puts together the worst two-race span in history for a championship contender, he will more than likely win his first championship. Let's look at the finishing results of this race, though, shall we? Max, oops, hit the wall. No one else did that tonight, so I guess I will. Max Verstappen is the winner, a two-time winner at the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Really had this race in control. There were a couple times that George Russell really early in this race got within a second, got some DRS, and put some pressure on Verstappen, but he never made a jump to the inside. He never put pressure. He never even really forced Verstappen to throw a block or a defensive move. It was really just Max Verstappen's night. He seemed to be the quickest. Just, that was it. I know Lando Norris was on pole, but that was tricky conditions. That was in the rain, and Lando Norris put together some great laps in qualifying. But ultimately, the dry conditions completely different. When it was dry throughout the weekend, it just really never felt like it suited McLaren. So, yeah, Lando Norris ends up finishing second. As I said, fell to third on that horrible start. But ultimately, he recovers. He is able to get back by George Russell. Russell said he had some steering issues or something during the race, but ultimately, Norris is able to get back by, finished in second place, but it got really stressful for him at the end. Norris was staying within 5 to 6 seconds the majority of the race, and then all of a sudden it goes to 8, then it goes to 10, then it goes to 12, and this isn't like over like a 10-lap period. This is over like the last 5 laps. Like, he is plummeting. He ends up finishing 20.7 seconds behind. Turns out he was saving fuel at the end of the race. I'm sure that the calculators there at McLaren are all fine and all well, and they should be able to leave this weekend intact. But they miscalculated. This could be a championship-changing moment. So hopefully for their sake, they calculated that correctly. George Russell picks up a podium. Solid day for him. As I said, he was kind of close to Verstappen for a minute there. Was ahead of Russell, ahead of Russell. This is Russell. Ahead of Norris there for a second, but then, of course, fell behind Norris and closed within 3 seconds there at the end because of Norris's fuel issues, but ultimately, podium. He'll take it. Oscar Piastri, man. Imagine going back into the summer when Oscar Piastri had a 30-plus point lead on Lando Norris. Max Verstappen was an afterthought. And you told Oscar Piastri that Lando Norris's biggest competitor in the championship would not be you. I don't know how I phrase that. It's midnight here. The thoughts are not going well. If you approached Oscar Piastri in the summer and told him, hey, man, by the way, I know you got a 30-point lead right now in the championship, but when it comes post-Vegas with 2 races to go, Lando Norris is going to have control of this thing, and you will not be his closest competitor. I think Oscar Piastri would be stunned. Probably is stunned in the moment right now. It's been a disaster since the summer break. Kimi Antonelli, even with the 5-second penalty, gets a top 5. Good day for him. Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz, Isaac Hadjar. Good point stays for those guys. Some points for Sauber. Good for them. Lewis Hamilton, after qualifying dead last in an absolute shocker in what's been a horrific year for him, worst year of his career, he picks up a point. He's got 2 races. 2 races to pick up a podium. I can't believe. Imagine telling someone at any point in time, Lewis Hamilton is going to join Ferrari, and that's going to be his first Formula One season without a podium. He's still looking for that first Ferrari podium. Just mind-blowing developments here. Ocon and Behrman fall short of the points. Alonso, Yuki, Pierre Gasly, Liam Lawson, Colapinto, Albon, Bortoleto, and Lance Stroll. 3 DNFs in this race. 2 of those from the first lap incident. So, there was some Mickey Mouse performance there at the end. That was confusing. Don't know what that was about. The Bellagio fountains are cool, but I don't know why they threw Mickey Mouse out there. Anywho. Race. Meh. Out of the 3 Las Vegas Grand Prix we've had, this is by far the weakest. The first one was a 10 out of 10. The second one was like an 8 out of 10. Still a solid race. This was a rough one. Don't know what it was. Don't know why it wasn't as great as the first 2, why there wasn't as much good racing. But Max Verstappen cuts into the championship lead technically. But there's 58 points remaining out there and 42 points. I don't think it's possible. And then as for Piastri, we already said. Piastri, it's been a rough go here. So Lando Norris continues to have a strong case for his first ever championship. And that's it. That's all I got. Vegas. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'm going to go to sleep now. Next week, Supercars.